fantastic Darche Eclipse 270, and as you'd expect with a quality item like this, everything is here. So we've got the 3 extra poles. You've also got your poles on the unit itself. You've got your Australian warranty card, straps for tying it back, an abundance of ropes, pegs, lots of bracketry there. The best part, I think, when it comes down to quality, have a look at the brackets on this. And you wonder why they're so good and why they never move once they're on your car. This is a really, really solid bracket, and there's 3 of them here. So that'll fit really nicely on our Wedgetail roof rack. I'm looking forward to getting it on and having a go. I'm from Dirt Road 4x4 Central, and today we're going to do an installation video on the Darche Eclipse 270 on a Wedgetail roof rack. There's a couple of things you need to know before you start, whether you're going to put it on a Rhino or you're going to put it on a different brand of rack. The tools you'll need to start off with, you'll need a 5mm hex key or Allen key, a 14mm and 13mm spanner. All the gear you need, as you'd expect from Darche, is here. So we've got all the correct bolts, U-bolts for those who need it. We're actually going to use T-bolts in this installation. So everything you need Darche give you, so it's kind of easy. The other thing that you need to note when you're first setting up, now I've done the unboxing, you saw it in the video, but you've also got to make sure you take the cardboard out of the ends, because if you forget to take the cardboard out of the ends, if it does rain, you'll get something soaking in there, so that's not good. But it's in there to protect it during transport. So we'll get it going now. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to measure up on top of the car to get our locations right. There's a couple of tricks to that, because we want the end of the awning to be in just a little bit from the rear door, so that when it's fully open, you don't have any little gaps. So we're going to measure it up now, make sure we've got it just in the right position, and we'll go from there. Alright, we're up here on top of my trusty Prado, and I've got my best mate Wayne here who's giving me a hand today. And what we're doing is we're going to measure it out. Now we're using the Wedgetail roof rack, which has east-west beams on it, which make it really easy, much easier than long ways. We're going to use T-bolts today. So the trick for us is to make sure we have our measurements correct so that we don't have any gap at the rear. We're going to use a fixing point at the back, one in the center and one in the front, so that we've got equal strength right across the awning. So we're going to get the tape measure out, give it a bit of a measure up, and then we'll get it going. Because the last thing we want to do is have to lift up the awning on and off. We want to do it once. So the idea is do it once, do it easy. Okay. We can fix our bolts in here so we can put our brackets on. You've got to pull the Velcro covers off here, and you'll find there's a little rubber stopper there that you need to pull out. So that comes out, and then that gives us the ability to now put our bolts in as we go to put our brackets on. So that's the next stage in putting it together. Okay, so we've done our measurements, and we've used the actual Darche bracket as a straight line to do our markings. So we've used the first point as our 0 point. So this is our overhang. Then we've come up to our center, which is our next bracket from our 0 point, and our measurement up the top there was 1560. So now we've got the 3 locations for our bracket. We're going to go lower. It's 14mm. So we're going to use the lowest point from the top of the roof rack to the top of the door. So it's nowhere near the door, but it makes it a little bit lower. So we're going to use it in that location. But you can choose what you want, because the beauty of the Darche, they give you plenty of options for where you're going to bolt it, and of course you've got the ability of adjusting the height. So that's what we're going to do. All right, we'll keep going. Okay, so now we've got our 6 bolts all in place, ready to go for our brackets to go on. Now, don't forget, after you've got your 6 bolts in, to put your rubber stoppers back in the ends, because that's your waterproofing on your channel at the end of the day. So just make sure you put your stoppers back in after you've got your bolts in. Okay, we'll keep going. A little trick, we've actually put a marking line where it's going to be on the bracket. So when you put your bracket on, in the empty hole where you haven't got a bolt, you can actually center up your line. So you know exactly you've got it center point. So when you get up the top, there's no guesswork. You can see through your line, you're in the right spot, bolt her up, off we go. Alright, so we had a couple of challenges putting it on. So I used my own T-bolts, but the actual bolts that I had with our nuts were not long enough. So if you're going to put it into channel with a T-bolt, you need to use an M8 30mm bolt, and that'll make it really, really easy. That was our only challenge. We overcome it. We managed to lift the nut up inside the channel and put the bolt in, but it probably added an extra 15 minutes onto the job. If you have the right bolt, M8 30mm, it'll make it super easy. But other than that, it went on a breeze. So that was our only challenge.